Ben Shelton standing in his way.
Similarities in the way these two players play for anyone just setting eyes on them for the first time this tournament, or maybe even in their careers. Both big servers, both are going to look for their forehand as often as possible, both maybe slightly more fragile on their backhand wing, and I'm expecting both players to be coming forward when they get opportunities as well. So this should be an attacking matchup.
What
do you make of the service motion?
Well, I like it. Both arms go up together. Quite an abbreviated motion with the racket arm. Gets into a very good trophy position, really loaded down into the right hip there, and then just explodes up. Huge power he generates. The serve and the forehand, as I say, are his big weapons.
Service games 1 for Sonego coming into this match. We're talking about when we compare him to the remaining 8 players in the quarterfinals, or the players that were in the quarterfinals. He's actually second on that list, only behind Sinner in service games 1, 95%. In fact, he's tied with Sinner at that percentage.
Both of these players, Robbie, have only been broken 4 times in the tournament.
Brown on the left. Very physical player as well. Strong. Mum Lisa, of course, a part of a tennis family as well. Lisa was a Witskin.
Cain, Sonego.
Athletic genes, tennis genes.
First game.
It's a good mix. The thing I've always loved about Sonego is, I mean, we've commentated on him a lot, and I have rarely seen him have a bad attitude on court. Even when he's playing badly, he is fighting for every single point. And I'm such a big believer that when you have that attitude, these kind of opportunities present themselves, like playing guys. You know, 3 of the 4 guys that he's beaten have been ranked lower than 110. And he will be ready to take that opportunity.
Well, that's the reason he's capitalized on this draw opening up in this quarter. You know, we saw his run through. He can't control who he's played, but he's capitalized on the opportunity that's presented itself. And he may well continue to do that. Shelton, many people's favorite today, but don't rule out the Italian.
Oh, that is scandalous how good that kick serve is.
And that's as good a second serve as you'll see. And that's what makes Shelton so hard to break, the fact that he's left-handed. He can serve huge. The first serve is so good, but the second serve can be just as hard to return at times.
Ryan, you were telling me you had a chat with his dad, Brian, a little earlier today. And they were just talking about managing that serve.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit, and just the natural lefty action that Ben gets with that slice serve, it plays perfectly into hitting that slider into the Sonego backhand, which is what he'll be looking to exploit a lot of today.
40 love. Shelton.
Strong service hold from Shelton. Always nice when you can hold to love. And we know he's got a great serve, but there's always been question marks about the return game. And I think something that has surprised a lot of us when you have a look at the remaining 8 quarterfinalists is the number is going to pop up on your screen right now. Take a look at this. Those are the break points won percentage. Look who's top of the list there.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. Shelton leading the field in terms of players remaining. He's won 52% of the break points that have come his way. And the thing with break points won, you know, yes, the quality on return is relevant, but it's not just about that. It's about the mental side of the game as well. When his moment comes, more often than not, he comes to life. And he takes it, which is also why he's played his best tennis in the Grand Slams. The bigger the moment, the better he plays. But he's generated, Robbie,
15.
the fewest number of break points. He's taken the highest percentage, 12 out of 23, but he's created the fewest. So there's no doubt the return game is still a work in progress.
From the Melbourne side, he's hitting winners already. Falling backwards. It's the kind of firepower he possesses.
Well, guys, just to further that point, the other side of it is whenever you have a guy who serves as big as Shelton does and you're facing a break point, there's an immense amount of pressure because you just feel like if that one break goes the other way, you might not get a chance to get back in the set.
Good point. Just a reminder of who Sonego has beaten to get to the stage. Stan Wawrinka is ranked 156. Joao Fonseca, 112. Fabian Marozsan, 59. And Etienne also outside the top 100 at 121. So this is the first top 20 player that he is playing this week. Ryan, I probably need to ask you this question. You know, what's the feeling
40-15
when you have had, let's say, a simpler draw, if you want to put it that way? Does that make you feel you belong, or how does that play out in the psyche, I guess, is my question, if you're in Sonego's shoes?
Well, a lot of times you're just looking to try and capitalize on those openings when they present themselves. It can be a lot of pressure when you find yourself as the favorite in a match that you weren't expecting to be.
Sonego.
A nice aggressive second serve. Good start from both. They've settled into this one quickly. We're on serve after 3 games. these freeze frames, you can see how the technique looks.
Time.
How far in front of the body they're making contact with the ball. Magnificent botanical gardens with the Yarra River that snakes through Melbourne.
Governor's house on the left. There's a couple of grass courts in the garden.
Is that right?
You just see one of them there on the left amongst the trees.
Nice. So one of those courts you probably have to play barefoot on. Don't want to damage the surface.
Led second set.
A bit of practice against the lefty. It's back-to-back matches now for Sonego, so might not take him as long to get used to the spin.
But I think we'll see a lot of that from Shelton. Ryan mentioned that the slicing, swinging left-handed serve, but the forehand cross-court, you know, hooking the ball cross-court, breaking the sideline and really pulling Sonego wide to his backhand. It's going to be a real challenge for the Italian today. Seen another lefty, Rafael Nadal, hurt a few people with that pretty simple left-handed play over the years, haven't we?
Beautiful feel. We know he's got a lot of power. Nice, soft skills here.
Something he's worked on a lot with his dad and coach Brian. Transition game, the net play. Nice soft hand here, just absorbing the pace. A little bit of cut spin on the ball as well.
Just keep an eye on his average first serve speed. You'll see these days he's not trying to hit every serve as fast as he can. He's not always going with the Kenny Powers fastball. He's mixing it up with spins. That 192, it's about the accuracy. It's more important.
Well, Robbie, to your point, at this level, if you just go with the same speed, eventually, over the course of 5 sets, guys will get used to it. So having that variety really keeps them on their toes.
We saw the importance of accuracy last night.
40-30.
Novak was just sublime in that department.
Yeah. It's not just about the speed of the serve, the accuracy, placement in the box, and really challenging the contact of the returner. A fast serve into the slot at this level will come back with interest more often than not. That serve on 7-2 is just devastating, though. So much slice, so much accuracy, short in the box.
2 games, though.
Ron, I loved your serve. I thought for somebody who wasn't as tall as a lot of the other players out there, you had a magnificent serve. I think a lot of people think you're born with the serve like that, but I remember you telling me how much you used to work on that shot all the time from a very young age.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a shot that we would finish practice with and do about 10-15 minutes every single day, and Shelton's very much the same. I've seen him hitting cones and cones all the time in practice.
I remember one of our good friends called him Wayne Arthur. Similarly, we all said, oh, you're so talented.
Love 15.
He's like, Robbie, I don't get enough credit for how many serves they used to hit. Just an hour, almost every day, all different kinds of serve. I'd serve a lot with my wrist. Focus on that rather than too much on the shoulder. Just learn to hit it flat with the wrist, slice with the wrist, kicker. Just become so creative.
Love 30.
Really interesting there. Shelton just went way back on that second serve return just to get the ball up on the Sonego backhand.
Something Sonego has spoken of, and how he wants to be a lot more proactive. So that's one of the reasons for him playing some good tennis of late. Coach Fabio Colangelo.
Yeah, on the right picture there, the white shirt. Wants Lorenzo to play as aggressively as possible. They're going to use the forehand, do damage, and get forward.
That's a heck of a pickup from both.
Third seal.
Got to be ready for the ball to come back at you quickly. Not once, but twice. Here. That could have got ugly, but well watched. Sneaky look.
And that cheeky smile we saw from Shelton, nice moment, but it speaks to me about why he's had good success in the Grand Slams, more so than on the main tour so far. He's not a player that's walking on the court here thinking, oh, this is a quarterfinal, it's a big match, it's a good opportunity, I'm tense, I'm a bit tight, you know, he can't wait to get out on these big stages and play these matches. He loves every minute of it. That's a good hold from Sonego. Comes through from love 30.
Sonego
so on serve after 5
games.
games. Good contest.
This match just building nicely in the opening set. You do get a feeling that we might see a tiebreak or two between these two. Similar game styles, a big serve, both looking to play attacking tennis, take the game to their opponent.
It's slightly cooler today. We've got a bit of a breeze in and around the grounds. This court's a little more protected than most. Steep overhang with the roof.
Tasty from Shelton again. 15 left. He really is transitioning nicely to the net. Again, there's that soft hand. Look at the way he just absorbs the pace out of the ball.
He was sitting really well
15
in his previous rounds, the forehand. He's pretty adept at just dancing around his backhand.
And Shelton, he's just struggling with the first serve so far. Just 4 of 12 first serves have found the target. And that is so good from Sonego. Puts the return right on the baseline and pounces all over the short ball.
Yeah, and in the early stages, the toss looks a little bit low right now for Shelton. You can see it's just right there, out of his hand, not getting up enough.
It's a makeable return. Just trying to block it back into play. Half a chance missed there.
.40-30. Yes. Advantage, Sonego.
Both these guys looking to bring their forehands into play any given opportunity.
Yes.
With it, the kick first serve, trying to use the awkward spin, the height, the bounce, but he just snatched at the forehand slightly. There's a bit of tension here for Shelton. First set potentially on the line right here.
do like that chip return against a lefty serve.
Yeah, he's just looking to ensure he makes as many as possible. A bit frustrated to miss that one. Got a clean strike on it. That's just careless from me.
Advantage, Sonego.
Didn't quite give the forehand the attention it needed.
Yes.
Oh, that wry smile on his face there, Ryan.
Yeah, nice reaction there, just sensing the moment. Looking at the coach's corner, his dad was telling him, don't let the ball get up too high on your forehand. Get that ball before it rises too much.
Is the ball jumping around a bit, Ryan? We know it's a bit livelier in the day session than it is at night once the temperature drops.
The ball is jumping a bit. It is lively out here. It's a little hotter, which is going to make the ball jump a bit more. And Sonego is doing a good job there of mixing up the speeds and spins in the early stages, just drawing a couple mistakes.
Game, Shelton. Three games on.
So 3 service holds apiece. This battle is well and truly joined now. Got their teeth into the contest. Let's go Big Ben. See Big Ben 2.0. Big Ben in the UK has just had a nice overhaul. It's
yes.
Resplendent.
Refurbished.
Love 50.
Ball just travels that little bit further during the day. Not as hot, not anywhere near as hot as it was yesterday, but probably a shot Sonego should be making.
Oh, that is some impressive headway.
Well, Sonego survived there. They gave Shelton a running forehand. That one there, that's a risky thing to do. Shelton can get a winner from anywhere. For me, the Shelton backhand, he's not far away with this lob, but it just doesn't quite feel the ball in the same way some of the best two-handed backhands do.
The bender from Shelton.
He's got him with a curveball.
15-30.
Very little pace on this forehand pass, but an extreme amount of side spin. He's really hooked around the outside of it. That was a brilliant shot.
You're good.
Ryan, did you see what happened there before it served?
Yeah, so just before his motion out of the corner of his eye, Sonego saw someone in the crowd, I believe, or in the corner, put their hands together. It just slightly distracted him, and you saw a little cheeky smile from Shelton, as if to say that he felt like it was a little tic-tacky. We saw a few years ago at Wimbledon when Sonego was playing Nadal, that Nadal actually called him up to the net and had a little chat with him about some of the antics and behavioral stuff. And listen, if it's getting under Nadal's skin and his ultimate competitive composure, you can imagine that other guys on tour are aware of some of these things as well.
If Rafa calls you to the net, you better listen.
I tell you what, it didn't go down that well in the locker room. They thought Nadal was out of order doing that.
Game Sonego. New balls, please. Sonego leads by 4-3.
Good contest. Italians are happy. Yes. 4-3. I mean, I remember that incident well at Wimbledon. It's a good reminder. And the backlash from Nadal afterwards was quite severe. Nadal's not perfect either. I've watched him stall opponents often on break point, put his hand up, make them wait. And Lorenzo made sure he had a say as well. It's good. I like that. I like a little bit of needle. We need more of it.
Well, you're exactly right, Robbie. It was something that a lot of players thought that Nadal maybe shouldn't have done that, but it was definitely an accumulation of things that were building up. It wasn't just that isolated moments. And as we all know, sometimes when you're already on edge, it might just take that one little thing that might not seem like a big deal, but maybe got in the mind of Nadal. And that's what Sonego can do to you at times. He can get in your head.
Speaking of getting in the head of your opponent, it was interesting. I was just reading quite a bit of stuff on social media saying, did we believe that Djokovic was injured yesterday evening or not? And was Djokovic playing games with them about a potential injury?
So I'm holding there 5 extra seconds every time that he puts his hand together. And that one, his hands weren't even together at 0. So I believe that when he starts motion,
he's ready to serve, and Ben's suggesting, well, why isn't he served?
Yeah, I think Shelton feeling that he's running the clock down, Sonego, not serving before the shot clock has hit 0. I think we've just gone from 1 to 2 chilies in the spice factor here.
Mm-hmm. So here he is, ready to serve. Where's the serve clock's on 5. Serve clock goes off. So he was well within the time limit. And I think what Tom Sweeney was suggesting is that the moment his hands come together, the clock goes off. We don't see the final 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the umpire seeing that as the start of his motion.
Yeah.
Right, give us a feel for Ben Shelton's character, you know, from what I've seen of him. He's not afraid to get into it with his opponents.
No, not at all. And early on in his career, he was very, very vocal, especially on the big stages. He would let the guys have it.
Ben Shelton.
He has learned how to channel that a bit.
Yeah, he channels it with a 230-kilometer-an-hour first serve.
4 games off.
Into the body.
Maybe just sending a little message there to his Italian opponent.
No kidding. Yeah, of course, it became a social media hit with the old phone hang-up against Francis Tiafoe. Talk about in your face.
Talk about things, how they're received in the locker room. I think there's, well, I'm sure a few corners of the locker room think Shelton's maybe a little overconfident. It was 143 miles per hour, by the way, for anyone that still works in old money. That's a brilliant lob there from Shelton. We've seen him try a couple of lobs on his backhand where, as I say, he doesn't quite have the loose hand and feel the ball as well as he does, certainly on the forehand. Look at the way he just flicks up the back of this one. So much topspin on the ball, bringing it down and making it leap away from Sonego once it bounces. Of course, Sonego probably the owner of shot of the tournament so far, isn't he?
No kidding.
15.
The exact shot that he just tried there. Not through the legs, but that little round the back.
Could argue that's tougher to pull off.
I think it probably is. Interested to get Ryan's take on that. I think that little round the back, that little hooker is tougher than the through the legs, the hot dog.
Yeah, guys, I agree completely. That shot is a little bit more difficult to pull off. I think on the tweener or the other side of your body, you can get a little bit more snap with the wrist. On that side, you're not as able to create much power. It's a bad miss.
15.
Maybe just
40.
Lost the flight of the ball. Maybe just tried to do too much with the volley and took too big a swing.
And there was a big gust of wind right before he hit that as he was in transition. The wind really picked up downwind from where he's serving now, so it just held the ball up.
To break points for Shelton. Djokovic-esque
Shown in the pressing replay of the right facade.
How well did he hit that slider to the forehand of Alcaraz yesterday?
Yeah, wasn't it just Djokovic-esque? What a second serve. Shelton's asked for another look, but of course it's just confirmation of the call. It's not a challenge as such. Right on the outside of the line. Talk about small margins.
Yes.
I didn't get to conclude my point I was making at the change of ends, just with antics, perhaps, if you want to call it, gamesmanship on court. My philosophy, Colin, is at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. If you're worried about what Novak is doing, what Holger's doing on the other side of the net, that's on you. There's no use complaining about it. Oh, so-and-so does it all the time. You've got to ignore it. You've got to be stronger mentally.
Advantage.
Yeah, I mean, there's antics going on in this match already, isn't there?
All the time, in every match, right? There's always... It's part of the dark arts of the sport.
Exactly the expression I was just about to use, the dark arts. Shelton feeling that Sonego's, you know, delaying, using the time. Shelton's jumping around a bit at his baseline as the Italian serves, maybe just trying to disrupt the rhythm slightly.
That's a little careless. Shelton gets the break. He was helped in a large part by Sonego with some big misses. He'll serve for the opening set.
It's a scrappy game there from the Italian Lorenzo Sonego. Just lost his way in a crucial moment. I don't think Shelton has played particularly well in this opening set, certainly to this stage. First serve percentage has improved, but you know, the forehand hasn't really fired in the way that it can. And yet, he's got himself an opportunity here to serve out this set.
Time.
He's got one of the biggest serves in the sport. And he's been using it intelligently in this opening set. See if he can close it out. That
15 left.
No wonder his father Brian enjoyed that one. That had a different noise to it. Just Playing a very patient point there, Shelton. And when you got to look at this forehand down the line, he just suddenly pulls the trigger from way behind the baseline. That's why this guy is so exciting to watch. He's so electric. You just never know what's coming next from shot to shot, point to point.
Love.
Shape of that serve is something else. Nice finishing touch. 3 set points.
Game and first set, Shelton.
The Kenny Powers fastball to close out set number 1. That was some serious heat at 232.
6 games to 4.
6-4.
Well, both players stopped playing. They both thought
Love 15.
The Sonego volley was landing wide. It's another stunning forehand from Shelton, though, to finish the point. Sonego just needs to be careful here. Just a sense that the American is starting to feel it. That was the ball they both stopped on.
Love 30.
Sonego's not going to back down off that forehand. He comes into the quarterfinals with the most forehand winners of the 8 players.
Whoa. 15-30.
I think one of the reasons why you see Shelton and Sonego at the top of the forehand winners list is that their backhand's probably not as good as the other 6 players remaining in the tournament, so they're looking to bring that forehand into play at every possible opportunity.
Yeah, exactly right. Looking to minimize backhands and maximize forehand opportunities. Shelton's game is a work in progress.
30 all.
Yeah, he has developed quickly in the last couple of years that he's been on tour, but he's sort of learning on the job, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was so good in college that he just had to turn pro, but he's developing before our eyes, and in some of the biggest matches, like the one we have here. That was a very intelligent point from Shelton. Just squeezing Sonego, playing the scoreboard 30-all. Italian serving, all the pressure was on him. Shelton just gave himself margin, kept the ball in play. And even the final forehand that he went for, you know, he hit it hard, but it was nowhere near the lines. And he just drew the error from Sonego there.
Early chance to strike. What a piece of tennis artistry. The top two plays of the tournament belong to Lorenzo Sonego.
Well, I cannot believe what we've just witnessed here. Breakpoint down as well. I thought Shelton had got him with the pass.
Yes.
And a full stretch, diving across the court. That wasn't Shelton's shot, that was Sonego's volley, spinning back onto his side. Look at the work on this thing.
And it has spun back a long way. The reaction, priceless.
He needs to be really careful coming in on that type of ball. Shelton had time there on the forehand. He's dangerous enough when you've got him off balance on that wing. Much prefer the play when he's approaching to the backhand.
Yes.
See, my co-commentator has got a huge asterisk on his notepad alongside the scoreline and that volley. Of course, the longer these kind of games go on with that kind of moment, the more meaningful they become. Especially when Shelton has been serving so effectively.
Well, it was a nice moment when they shook hands there after the unbelievable volley, but we don't know the turning point until the final handshake. That volley saving the break point, and indeed Shelton missing the forehand on the next break point. It just got the potential to be turning points here.
Yes. Advantage, Sonego.
It wasn't the cleanest of volleys, but so effective. Had a doubles partner who could volley like that on tap. Most of the times it didn't come out the center, but man, it was fun to play with him. Horrible to play against him.
Yes. Advantage, Sonego.
Well, guys, this is an interesting little chess match going on. Shelton's backing way up on the return, and Sonego, when he has the opportunity, is really utilizing the drop shot with Shelton being so far back behind the court.
Yes.
Sure was. Sonego's gone backwards here. Just needs to lunge forward, take that out the air. Got himself into a real knot.
Advantage,
Yeah, that has to be plan A for Sonego whenever possible. Big serve, big forehand. The power through the court, that's, you know, the foundation of his game.
Sonego.
Well,
this game,
it's a lot of industry, but we've got to go back to that amazing point here. Check this out.
Yeah, all the way back to 30-40. I'm not sure I've seen a volley spin that much before.
Shows you how thin the contact was. Ben almost wanted to swear at him. Well, how do you like that, folks? Well played, young man. Even Tom liked it. He had a pretty good view of it.
He had the best view.
See the Italian fans in the background there. That's what we see at the Foro Italico, isn't it? The hand waving.
But had he gone on to be broken, Robbie, it would have been worthless, that volley.
Yep, true.
And he's gone on and he's held serve. And maybe
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
a turning point there in this match.
Thank you. Lead first serve. $15 left. $30 left. $40 left. Ben Shelton. One game on.
Stark contrast to the previous game. It was 13 minutes and some change. It's one of the tough things when you're playing against a big server.
Well, Sonego will feel like he's only just held serve after a significant effort. And here he is again with the ball back in hand.
$15 left. $30 left.
It's a casual there.
40 left.
But this is Shelton, isn't it? We spoke of the break points one stat over 50% coming into this match. But you know, there are a lot of service games where return games, he almost disengages. You know, if he doesn't sense the break is there, he just sort of plays a little looser. Oh, goodness me.
Game. Sonego.
I think he survived here, but very nearly got him.
It's 2-1 second set. Yep.
Sonego leads by 2 games to 1.
Well, that was a near-death experience for the chair umpire. That ball was going about as fast as one of the Shelton serves and right into the chair umpire's chair.
And it was going nowhere near the court.
It was almost 2 for the price of 1 there. Not only the umpire, but the ball kid. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Perfect example, though, wasn't it, where Shelton always just lets the game go. You know, he really engages when he smells blood on return, but if he doesn't, he's just going to have a swing and see what happens.
Time.
Well, day 11, and we've been blessed with some fantastic weather again. Record crowds yesterday evening for a night session. It's more of the same today. Colin and I have been walking around the grounds. Jam-packed. Juniors are in action. Next generation of champions. Oh. That's not making the highlight reel, that one. It's the bloopers reel.
Well, that's a little bit of what we talk about with Shelton, just sometimes losing concentration a bit. I mean, I think this guy has a bigger game potential than any other of our young Americans. He has that such electricity in his game.
Mr. Sonego is requesting a video replay.
Yeah, guys, I think this is 2 bounces. It was right here in front of me as Shelton was sliding up, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a double bounce call.
Yes, it was called up, and therefore it's Sonego who's challenging the call. Thinks it's a double bounce.
Ooh. He's got it. I think he's got it.
It's going to be a tough call here.
No, from that angle.
That's the angle. Side on is the angle.
He looks like he's got his racket underneath the ball there, doesn't he?
From the back and from the front, but from the side, this one.
Yeah, guys, I'm right here from the side, and I think it's a double bounce.
Well, I think double bounce.
Yep, you're right.
Just about as close as it gets. We saw one of these in the previous match between Navarro and Swiatek. It was actually a double bounce. Navarro didn't challenge, though, went on to lose the point.
Yeah, that's not the angle. That's not the one.
Yeah, it's double bounce. Just.
Yeah, the one. This is the one. Yeah, definitely. And the crowd saw it straight away.
Yeah, it's been played on the big screens inside the arena. Pressure on the umpire here.
That's about as...
So, just to reiterate, the umpire's not going off our replays. They've got their own monitor there in front of them.
Crowd are seeing our replays.
Yeah, correct.
The umpire can request the views that they want.
This is about as close as I've ever seen, but it is definitely 2 bounces from where you can see where I'm sitting.
Yeah. And the players have seen what the crowd have seen, our replays on the big screens, so they've formed an opinion.
And I think it's fair enough to say that it's so close. Ben wouldn't be sure if he had made it or not. A little different to the Jack Draper incident in Cincinnati last year.
Yeah, Ben Shelton just looked at me and asked if he got
Ladies and
it. I said
gentlemen,
no,
video
so we conceded the point.
has confirmed that the ball bounced twice before Ben got to the ball.
Well, he was happy to concede the point in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was happy with what he saw, right? That's his fellow countryman down there, Ryan Harrison. Thoughts on that. I think you should be allowed to let the point play out, Colin, and then review it afterwards.
Could not agree more. Play the point to conclusion and then retrospectively challenge the call. I can understand Thomas Sweeney taking his time there, Robbie. I don't mind that necessarily. If it's a tight call, the technology is there to ensure the right decision is made. The last thing we want is to use the technology and come up with the wrong decision.
14-15.
So he took his time, made sure he was comfortable with the call.
Because so often it's in the heat of the moment that there's so much going on. You know, the player's rushing. You're trying to see if your opponent's got it. Have they got it? The point continues, and you have to make a split-second decision there. It's not fair on the person who's watching the opponent try and make the pickup.
Game.
Yeah, just to be clear, the initial call was that the ball was up there, so Sonego stopped the point and challenged. If Thomas Sweeney decided that it was up, Sonego would have lost the point for stopping, so he had to sort of take the risk, if you like. Yes. Well, he was sure at the time, hence the reason he challenged.
Here it is. Just bounced before the racket, managed to scoop it up. Binoculars to see that one. Super zoom. And of course, if you're worried about the fact that the players might challenge too often, it's just at the discretion of the umpire. When it's really obvious, you just don't allow the person to challenge. But if there's any doubt, you know, just replay it. Maybe you only get 3 reviews a set.
That's the current rules. An extra if we get to a tie break.
$15. $15-30.
Getting personal now. Second time, he said.
Yeah, Sonego did well there, because just that little interruption before his second serve. And I like the way he approached to the backhand here and kept the ball on the backhand. Oh, there's the the return at Thomas Sweeney again, second time. Clean catch though. And a little celebration.
Yes. This point was a big point. Forget it was 15-30, right?
14-30.
And guys, all the good lobs have come from the side that Sonego is serving from now into the wind. All the side, on the side that Shelton's on now, all the lobs have carried long.
Yeah, definitely mishit the final volley there, Shelton. But look at the speed of him. Look at the court coverage. You know, you make your own luck with that sort of dynamic play. Oh no, maybe just the breeze that Ryan referred to, catching him out again here. Sonego, he's got under this high ball. Mistimed his jump. Getting into the net with speed, tried to put the brakes on, but yeah, he just misjudged the flight. It is a bright day, maybe some sun up there. Whatever it is, it's another game where he's having to cling on to his serve. Another break point here for Shelton.
Use the S&V well from that side.
Advantage, Sonego.
I don't ever think serving volley is going to become unfashionable. I think it's going to come into fashion in a big way. Certainly has, as far as coming to the net is concerned, of ground strokes, and I think you're going to see more and more players do it as a change-up tactics behind serve.
Game Sonego.
Oh, it's two monumental holds from the Italian. He's hanging on in there. He leads 3-2.
Sonego leads by 3 games to 2.
Thank you.
Look at that from Ben. Whatever it takes.
Time.
It's the first of the men's quarterfinals today. Of course, we already have 2 winners yesterday. I'm sure you're tuned in to watch some scintillating tennis from Novak and Carlos. The wise old sage getting the better of the young protagonist. Zverev too good for Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul had his chances, didn't he? Too many of them.
Served for the first 2 sets.
Yep.
2 tie breaks, very one-sided tie breaks. It was one that got away in many ways from the Americans' point of view.
As a result, Djokovic will play Zverev. And the winner of this match will take on the Sinner-De Minaur match that's coming up tonight.
Wait, please. Love 50.
Yeah, he's cleaned the line. You mentioned the semi-final in the bottom half. Robbie Zverev against Djokovic. The winner of this match will, of course, play the winner of our last quarter-final tonight between top seed Jannik Sinner, defending champion, and the home hope Alex de Minaur.
Magnificently manufactured. I'm curious to see how Sinner's is holding up. We know he wasn't well, and that was pretty clearly evident, excuse me.
Is there anyone worse to play than Alex de Minaur if you're not feeling up to the most physical fit day?
And that's why I like his chances. I know he's got a horrible record against Sinner.
Yeah, there's a big question mark over Jannik Sinner tonight.
14-15.
And guys, I believe I saw a stat that Alex de Minaur's serve average speed is up something ridiculous, like 12, 13, 14 Ks. You can fact check me on that, but I saw that at one stage of the tournament.
Well, in the second set tiebreak against Alex Mickelson, he hit a 215 km/h ace on a big point. And if that's not hard work paying off, I don't know what is, because that's some serious pop for the Demon.
Game, Shelton.
It's another comfortable serve for Ben Shelton, who has faced breakpoints in one service game, but the rest have been pretty straightforward for the young American. And Sonego obviously working so hard to hold his own serve. You just sense, certainly at this moment, that may start to sort of weigh heavily on the Italian. He's got to find ways not only to keep holding, but to somehow get some pressure on the Shelton serve, because you know what it's like when you're holding easily. You feel so free on the return game because you've got no fear whatsoever that you might lose your own serve.
Love 15.
just interesting with these new balls here. You'd like to see Sonego try and get that first serve percentage up and let the ball and the court speed help him, but he's still dropping his first serve percentage a bit.
Not sure if many of you know, but Sonego was asked in a press conference about what music he listens to before he walks out into the court. Of course, he replied, "My own music." He's a bit of a musician, is our Lorenzo Sonego. His hands on that occasion. But his most listened to song on Spotify, Uno Solo Secondo, over 1.5 million listens.
How many matches has he played? We'll just subtract those from the total plays. It's reggaeton, isn't it? I think the genre. Is that what we'd call it?
Mm-hmm.
Right up your street, Robbie.
Oh, he was the conductor in that point.
Third teal.
And he had Shelton dancing to his tune. Just moving the ball around the court exquisitely.
T40.
Can just sense a bit of an energy shift here. Sonego looks a little bit low energy right now before this break point save. The other previous ones, he had a little bit better look to him.
Let Fisser. Shelton.
How do you like that for raw, unvarnished power? What a way to get the break.
Shelton leads by 4 games to 3.
What an incredible point. He had a bit of everything. Sonego looked like he had it won there. Chose to let the high ball bounce, and then he was in trouble. But again, Shelton from way behind the baseline, comes up with a bolt of lightning off the forehand. Again, when his moment came, he produced the goods.
One of the most important things in any sport is to play the big points well. But you talk about making big-time plays, big-time points in big moments. It's exactly what we saw here. This was just special. And it's been a theme in the fortnight so far for him.
It certainly has. He leads the list of players remaining in this tournament in terms of break points won. He's now, for the tournament, 14 out of 30, 47%.
15 left.
Dipped slightly today. He was at 52 coming into this match.
Requesting a replay of
Sonego saved a lot of break points here, but ultimately, in both sets, he's found a way, Shelton, to get his break.
But top of the list. There's not many people who would have picked that coming into the quarterfinals, hey, Colin?
Well, Alex de Minaur, second, at 45. He's a player that's broken serve as much, if not more, than anyone in the past couple of seasons. Then it's Sinner, then it's Djokovic, arguably the best returner of all time. We saw put on a masterclass last night. You know, these guys are better returners than Shelton. But this tournament, when the moments come, he's delivered.
Maximizing the moment, as we say. And Ryan, that was the discussion you and I were having. I was asking you about, is there anything you would do differently in your career?
Shelton leads by 5 games to 3.
Yeah, definitely. And the way that he just sticks to his guns and plays the big points well, he's able to harness his most positive energy, and his biggest exertions always come on those big points. He's a big-time player. We've seen that at many stages in his career, already having so many deep runs at Grand Slam events.
And his forehand down the line, Robbie, is becoming a real trademark shot, isn't it? You know, we think of Nadal, obviously a left-hander. You know, he killed opponents with that hook forehand cross court, but so often the barometer of how confident he was, how well he was playing, was his ability to flatten it out, change direction down the line. And it can be devastating against right-handed opponents who are always looking to edge to their left to get their own forehand into play. There's space down the line. Shelton's down the line forehand is devastating.
And I remember you talk about playing the big points well back in 2023, where he made that run through to the quarterfinals. In the first round against Zhang, he had to save a match point. I mean, talk about a big-time play right there. He goes on to make the quarterfinals. It's a huge stepping stone for him. Speaking of big forehands.
And Robbie, to give you an idea of how green Shelton is, that was his first time ever leaving the United States of America whenever he came down here to make the quarterfinal run the Australian Open 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? He broke the top 100 without using his passport. Never left the United States of America, and he's in the top 100.
$30-50.
And Ron, I want you to think about it and save it for the early stages of the third set. But of course, you've got a lot of players now ranked inside the top 100. And I want to get your thoughts on why the depth is so deep now. Of course, tie most players in the men's main draw this year, 14 with the Aussies. Of course, the Aussies have the luxury of getting a few extra wild cards, but
Mr. Sheldon is requesting a replay of this.
Well, Shelton thinks he can see a fresh mark that's beyond the baseline here, but the call showing half on, half off.
Cain, Sonego.
oh, that was ferociously swift. But it might not be enough in the second set. Shelton will serve for a 2-sets-to-love lead after the change of ends.
Very hard to see Shelton being broken back here if he keeps the level high. He's only lost 2 points on serve this entire set. 10 of 11 points won on his first serve, 6 of 7 on the second. Sonego just has not been able to lay a glove on him.
And guys, would you believe that to this stage in the match, Sonego has 0 aces?
Yeah, that is an incredible stat. He's got a big serve, the Italian. Just 14% of serves unreturned as well, 10 of 72. Shelton's done a great job.
Ben Shelton's done such a good job of making Lorenzo Sonego work so hard on the serve. Things haven't come easily for the Italian. And as a result, Shelton's got a chance to take a 2-sets-to-love lead. Good start. Always helps swing the odds significantly in your favor as a returner. The odds of breaking if you win that opening point. The average is about a 27% swing, but against a server as good as Shelton, that drops by about 2 percentage points.
Well, I'm not sure about that shot selection from Shelton. It was neither here nor there. The slice wasn't a drop shot, wasn't really sort of cut low into the court. It just handed the initiative to Sonego. He's always there, isn't he? You praised his attitude earlier in the match, Robbie. You know, he's been outplayed to this point, but he's always there, ready and looking for an opportunity.
What a difference when he's playing downwind. Able to hurt Shelton a little more, especially helps when you get a look at a second serve. Chance to break the American for the first time.
$15-40. Sonego.
Well. Did not see that coming.
No, that's out of nowhere. He'd only won 2 return points in the set prior to that game.
5 games
I mean, where does that come from? Ryan, any sense courtside? I don't feel like it was tension. I feel like it was a loss of focus, thinking the job was done once he got the break.
Yeah, for sure. Shelton just started that game out just a little bit on cruise control, and Sonego, an experienced player, was ready for the opportunity to pounce.
Once again, Sonego coming out on top.
He's got the wind at his back, that end of the court, and he's got the wind in his sails now. It's all starting to go for Sonego, despite Shelton's best efforts. What a turnaround we're seeing here in this second set. Crashed into that ball. Robbie, he was so eager to get it early.
Just wondering if it skids off the line, the surface line.
Tentative from Sonego, very tentative. He made the move forward, and somehow a ball that looked like it was there to be volleyed, he ended up sort of half volleying it and retreating to the baseline. He's got himself back into this second set, but he's got to keep going for his shots, playing with freedom. You play safe at this level and you'll be punished. There you go. Clean strike and smart going back in behind Shelton, who was sprinting to cover the open court.
Very short, compact swing. Tough to read.
40-30.
So surprised when players smash the ball so flat. Very few of them carve around the side of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and early on in the match, we saw him miss a couple of those awkward high balls, and now it's just getting in his head a little bit.
Can hit it at half that pace with a good amount of slice, and it's just going to move away from Shelton.
Well, the Shelton loss of serve looked like a bit of a loss of focus, but this you have to put down to tension for Sonego. Back on serve in this set, 5-all, and this is a really shaky game. Big double fault there.
He's not happy about something. Just checked his ball toss after that point.
Time violation, warning, Mr. Sonego. Yes.
That was a test passed. Very solid second serve and a fully committed forehand.
Advantage.
The time violation might have just helped him there. He didn't take it deliberately, as you sometimes see players do, you know, just accept it to buy some time, but just made him pause, compose himself. 2 good points since.
Yes.
It's an interesting thought from a mental perspective. You know, you step it up to line there, break point down, you're thinking, oh, bleep, it's break point. And then suddenly you get a time violation, and it's just a distraction enough. It might stop you from overthinking the situation. Just enough hook on that to keep it out of the strike zone.
Just looks so tense though, Sonego.
Shelton.
Didn't really keep the feet moving to this volley. It was just a sort of lunge. I think he could have got a little closer to that ball, perhaps.
He's just lost his feel from the side. And the bounce back ability from Shelton has been exemplary. He's been helped by his opponents, but he won't care. He leads 6-5.
Shelton leads by 6 games to 5.
Well, he's potentially got away with one, I think, Ben Shelton. A sloppy service game, serving for the second set. And he's benefited there from Lorenzo Sonego just tightening up and, as you say, Robbie, losing his feel with the wind at his back. Credit Shelton, though, he did the job. He did what he needed to do. Balls in play, defended well, made life awkward for Sonego and allowed him to unravel. You would think now the young American will put pedal to the metal and serve this one out.
Colin, I think he'll be dropping heat this game on the serve. I don't think he's going to be messing around.
Magnificent scenes as you make your way down the Yarra River. Even better if you're at Rod Laver Arena. And it's 2 service games in a row now that he's lost the opening point. Of course, the previous service game ended up getting broken. He's serving with the wind at his back. 2 sets to love lead is very difficult to overcome. He would love just that. Wow.
Love third.
Well, maybe it is tension after all for Shelton. Just a second double fault he's hit in the set. Second in the match.
(15-30).
Forget Shelton, just 22 years and some change. Looking to make it through to the semi-finals here for the 2nd time in his career. At a major, shouldn't say here. It's the other semi-final coming in New York.
30.
It's a big moment in his career. Yes, he has been there before, but not often. Just composed himself beautifully here.
40-30.
And he's earned a set point.
Game and second set, Shelton.
Shelton is large and in charge now.
Shelton
he wins
leads
the
by
second 7-5 and is looking awfully good.
$15.
What an athlete. Loved playing American football when he was younger. That's one of the reasons he developed such a good serving arm, is to be a quarterback. Loved playing. It was pretty much between American football and tennis, from what I understand and have read.
Portila.
Pure perfection, that forehand. Right in the honey pot. Even he knows it.
Jannik Sinner.
Use that sort of volley intelligently. And I guess a good chance again to check in with Ryan. Just having a look at all the Americans ranked inside the top 100 now. So many of your fellow countrymen. Why is American tennis so much on the up?
Well, I think that a lot of time these rises happen in bunches. You see that sort of, if he can do it, I can do it. They work hard. I heard a lot about the training off-season that they had, the preseason training before coming down to Australia. And these guys all got together, were pushing each other, working really hard. I can see that Ben Shelton has definitely developed a bit physically. You can tell he put together a lot of training in the off-season, and it's just really cool whenever you do it with your friends. You saw Lerner Tien and Alex Mickelson, who grew up together, both making it to the second week here, and you see it happen like that. These guys come together. It reminds me of a bit of the 90s when you had Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, Jim Courier, Michael Chang, and they all pushed each other and came up and rose together, and we saw it with Andy Roddick, James Blake, and Marty Fish in that era as well.
A rising tide raises all boats.
That's right.
15.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. These guys pushing each other.
Well, I remember the Bollettieri Academy back in the early days, and Ryan will, I think, help me out here as well. I mean, literally all the best players in the country went there to train, and that's why you had so many good players, right? These days, there's so many different academies, that talent pool gets diluted. I'm a big fan of everybody training in a central location.
Portila.
I mean, in a country as big as the States, maybe you have to do East Coast, West Coast bases, but still.
Well, at a young age, I got to go and train with Andy Roddick a lot when he was at the top of his game. And when you see that level in practice every day, it really makes you feel comfortable against the rest of the tour.
Game. Shelton.
That's so true. I think about Nadal growing up with Carlos Moya and being able to practice with him when he was number one in the world. Rafa was 14. You get to see the level of intensity and just the level in general. Jannik Sinner, of course, when he went to Bordighera with Riccardo Piatti. Riccardo was helping so many good players at the time. Got to practice with the likes of Grigor, Novak, Raonic.
And you pick up the habits as well, don't you? What it is to be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
15 left.
And then he would take Jannik out to dinner and listen to what Maria Sharapova had to say, Marat Safin. Just listen to how they think and how they go about, you know, plying their trade, mistakes they made, what they did well.
And don't you think you sort of realize that they're human beings as well? They're not sort of superheroes. Mm-hmm. Ryan, did you find that with Andy Roddick? That's it's sort of, you know, he's a real person that works hard and earns what he achieves.
Yeah, Colin, most definitely. I think that when you see the finished product here on the biggest stages and you grow up watching them on television, you don't quite understand all of the sacrifices and what it's like to be in their shoes day to day, and you realize that it doesn't happen by accident. There's so many things that go into being able to produce the level on this stage.
Love.
You know, I remember talking to Andy Roddick ahead of my first ever Grand Slam, and he was talking to me about how important it is to have a really big dinner the night before and make sure you wake up in plenty of time to have a healthy meal beforehand. And these little advices you get from the older generation were invaluable.
Cain. Sonego. New balls, please.
Good heat on that serve. Sonego's 2-1 up in the third set.
Sonego leads by 2-1.
Time.
So many lovely landmarks here in Melbourne. It's just a beautiful blend of old and new. Of course, this state-of-the-art tennis facility. It's always been ahead of the curve.
15 left.
1988 when we moved here. First of the majors to have a retractable roof. They've got 3 in total now. And big plans down the road from what I believe.
Let Fisser.
Oh, it's catchy. Missing easy forehands from this end.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Shelton performs in this third set. I think there's an opportunity for him to win this match in straight sets. He's been the dominant player. But there's also an opportunity with the way Sonego competes. If Shelton loses a bit of focus, he could find himself in a fourth set.
Third tee, 15.
Very neatly done. What a colourful point that was from Sonego.
30 on.
He's using all of his palette here. At court positioning, just like a squash player, controlling the tee area. Taking time away from their opponent.
40-30. Shelton. Two games off.
You're so right, Colin. This is, I guess the opening couple of games of the third set, when you're 2 sets to love up, is more about concentration than anything else, because we know the execution is probably there.
Well, yeah, it can be, depending on the matchup and the game style. You know, Shelton, vast majority of times, he's holding serve pretty comfortably, isn't he? And the risk is that he goes into cruise control now. He's 2 sets to love up. But I think you've got to sort of really stamp on your opponent when you've got a chance, don't you? Try and get through to the semis unscathed.
Love 15.
Guys, one other thing to keep a lookout on is as the shadow moves across the court, you can see it starting to cover most of the court. The temperature will start to drop as we get a little bit closer to the night session, and that plays in the hands of the player who doesn't have as many free points on serve.
I'm just wondering, during your playing days, if you had a go-to mantra or routine just to help you with your focus, if you are cruising in a match, which kept you in check, keep the concentration levels up.
Yeah, Robbie, that's a great question. I think it's easy at times when you're out there for so long to have your mind wander, but I always used to just remind myself to think about what I was doing that was giving me the most success. I always wanted the opponent to have to adjust to what I was doing with the most success on any given day.
Like that. I think the ability to concentrate well for long periods of time is such a skill, and I think it can be developed. I was so impressed with Lerner Tien when I did his match against Medvedev, almost 5 hours in the making, that never complained once, not even for a split second. Just a great attitude, and his just ability to focus his concentration for such a long period of time was admirable.
Game, Sonego.
Chris Lerner eventually losing to Lorenzo.
Sonego leads by 3 games to 2.
Sonego going nicely here in the third.
Finally starting to hold serve with some comfort. Sonego just 1 point lost on serve in this set. First 2 sets he was really having to work hard to keep the scoreboard moving.
Are you guys ready for my bold American tennis prediction for 2025?
Oh, yes. Hang on. You got to wait till we come out of the break. I want the world to hear this one, right?
Okay, we'll wait on that.
We're on standby. He's got plenty of game, this young man.
Time.
Well, if future of American tennis is looking bright, and I believe, Ryan, you've got a prediction for the 2025 season. Let's hear it.
I've got a bold prediction. I believe year-end 2025, we will have 3 American men in the top 10 in the world and 7 in the top 20.
7 in the top 20, 3 in the top 10. Who are the 3 in the top 10? Taylor Fritz is one for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, top 10 end of the year. I think the trending is in that direction. And then the 4 between 11 and 20, I'll give you in just a moment. Between 11 and 20, I've got Francis Tiafoe. I've got Sebastian Korda. Alex Mickelson, I believe, makes his top 20 debut this year.
40-15.
All very doable, but I'm curious as to who might fill that final spot. We're thinking maybe a meteoric rise for Lerner Tien.
I'm going with a different player. I look at Brandon Nakashima as a guy who can make that jump after having a huge season last year.
Good shout. Very good shout.
No doubt, the 7 very, very good players.
Oh, look at that athleticism.
Game Shelton.
Just check if Ryan's got those stars and stripes tinted shades on down in the sun there.
Yeah, I think he has. I'm just checking if he's got a contract with the USTA, perhaps.
I like it. We like bold predictions.
Don't we just?
Guys, you got to aim high. I mean, I look at those first 5, and I think that they're going to be pretty confidently in the top 20. And the 2 that I think that have been coming on strong. And he didn't have the best Australian Open, but Nakashima's year, if you look at the way he trended all last year, was a phenomenal rise.
No, you're right. You are definitely right about Brandon. He's got a good head on his shoulders as well.
Oh, unorthodox volley there. Yeah, Nakashima didn't have the best of draws. He actually lost to Ben Shelton in round 1 here. Pretty tight match, 7-6, 7-5, 7-5.
On.
A heck of an overhead.
30-15.
Yeah, Shelton generates so much topspin when he's lobbing with the forehand. He did really well here, Sonego. Look how far behind him the ball was, just to control that, keep it in play.
$40-15. Cain, Sonego.
More of the same here in the third set. Both players strong behind their respective serves. 4-3.
Well, it's been slim pickings for Lorenzo Sonego on serve today. And Shelton, one of the best servers in the game. He's been spreading the ball around the box nicely. And look at the blue balls there. They're points won, the red points lost. So you'll notice that on the ad side, Shelton has only lost 1 point the whole match behind his first serve, and he hasn't lost any with that lefty swinging wide serve to the ad court. Such a strength for Ben Shelton. He's got the potential to carry him an awful long way in this tournament.
Yeah, what a massive advantage that stroke is. You can see the wrist snap there as he's trying to get up and around the ball. It's beautiful dexterity. USA just welcomed a new president, haven't they? Inauguration of Donald Trump taking place, I think it was yesterday, if memory serves.
Love.
What a pickup.
30-15.
That's knowing exactly where the racket faces. McEnroe-esque that was. It's come in a lot, like it. It's been part of his game plan for the season ahead. Oh, we've got a piece of paper that's just floating behind the back of the court there. Of course, we had that yesterday in the Zverev match with a feather. Oh, it's a feather as well. There you go. Oh.
That's catch of the tournament.
One take, Denzel. Serve once again. So impressive.
And backed up with an equally impressive forehand from the middle of the court. Incredible inside-out angle there.
Drives so well with his legs. Let's keep an eye on that now as he executes the serve. The ground reaction force. That is something
Shelton.
else, and of course, it's the transferring of that energy that is so important. And the hip speed, this is what we have today, the leg drive. There's 2.1 meters per second. It's the leg drive for Shelton, and the serve speed 196. And you can see what makes it so impressive is the average hip speed for top 50 players, 1.7 meters per second. He's 2.2, so significantly greater than the rest, and that's why the serve is so good. There's other mechanics that come into play, but ultimately that leg drive is almost like a deep squat, isn't it?
And we saw his average first serve speed just 1 kilometer an hour faster than the tour average there, but it could be a lot more.
Yeah.
The majority of the tour, like take Sonego for example, hit many more flat serves at full power than Shelton does. He's hitting slice serves, he's hitting kick serves. I think he's only hit 2 or 3 full power serves here, flat. And they've been in the 230 kilometer an hour range.
Yeah, Colin, I think that if you had a measurement for after the ball bounces on serve, the reactiveness of how much it moves off its original line with the spin reaction, Shelton would lead the tour.
Yeah, he's got some serious work on the serve, that he is loaded with spin, slice, kick. He's got the full works.
left.
Sharpish. Bringing out the scalpel for that backhand volley.
Sonego leads
5-4. Things getting interesting here in the third.
I think we're at an interesting juncture in this match. This third set. Sonego holding a lot easier than he was in sets 1 and 2. He's only got 2 service points this set. If he can just find a way to nick it, then you never know what can happen. He has come back from 2 sets to love down once in his career. It was against Andrei Rublev, 2023 Roland Garros.
Impressive behind their respective deals, but now we get into sweaty palm territory, serving to stay in the set. Neither player has
15 left.
been able to fashion a break point.
Left.
So much racket head speed, such a loose hand, and just whips it through. He's certainly keeping his focus here, Shelton. Real authority on that volley.
He's used the full width of the court there.
40-30.
Well, Sonego goes down here, but he's definitely not out. He's just taking a moment, just steadying himself. And he's steadying himself for a big moment, because all of a sudden we're at juice here, and the Italian is just 2 points away from winning this third set.
Ben Shelton will be kicking himself if he gets broken here. What a time.
The advantage
to face
Sonego.
The first break point in the set, which happens to be a set point. Surely he's got to make him just hit a volley there.
Yeah, at the very least, the ball has to be in play.
Yes.
A huge opportunity there. He did so well to make the return and make it awkward. Well capable of making that forehand. Sonego just overplayed it. Well, he looks to the court there, but what happened there?
Advantage Shelton.
You notice anything with the bounce there, Ryan?
Honestly, not that much. I think that was just more him venting. I think that Shelton's ball was just a standard forehand inside out, and Sonego just mistimed it. It looked like the wind might have held it up a bit. As we know, the wind is coming downwind from the side Sonego's on.
Both players have been down in this 10th game, but definitely not out.
It has been a really, really physical match so far. 2 hours and 40 minutes almost, and we're still in this 10th game of the third set.
He's looking vulnerable here, Ben Shelton.
Sonego.
How he would love an unreturned serve.
Thank you. Game and third set, Sonego.
And from love 40 up in the game, Shelton gets broken, and Sonego is right back in the mix. He wins
6
the third,
games to 4. Shelton leads by 2 sets to 1.
What a great reaction.
Ryan Collins just said to me he prefers the pina colada side
15 left.
of that tune.
I love a good pina colada as well.
I tell you, underneath that umbrella down there courtside, it might go down quite well.
Well, I've just had to take the umbrella down, actually. This sun is about to be completely behind the stadium.
Okay.
Afternoon moving into evening. Who knows where we might be when these two finally shake hands.
Guys, as I was saying earlier in the set, and when the shadow was coming across the court, that temperature dropping, and that helps the player who's not the bigger server get into the more rallies. And we saw in that last service game there of the third set, Shelton got 0 free points on serve after being up 40 love.
That's more like it.
15-30.
Be very wary of coming in here to the forehand of Shelton. Even if you think you can hurt him, I still want to see him pass me off his weaker side, which would be his backhand. Because at the end of range, he can produce moments like that.
All. Forty. 30.
lost count of how many defensive lobs we've seen land inside the baseline from that end of the court.
Oh, Ryan, you called it early on.
Yes.
There's not too many predictions that you've got wrong today, and that's why it's stuck in my head about the Americans this season. I've taken note of that.
We're going to have to wait 11 months for that one to play out.
It's killing me.
Set a reminder.
Yep.
Contact Ryan Harrison, December.
Roddy, I have a question for you. With the 7 Americans, and I gave you the 7 I thought it would be, there's one other one that I think could replace Nakashima if he's not able to make it.
Yeah, you're allowed an alternate, given the boldness of the prediction. Who would that be?
Well, he's the only man that's taken out Djokovic to date this year.
Yes, the big guy.
Just not the right approach. Maybe against a right-hander, but you know, against Shelton, who is so dangerous with his forehand. And look at where he gets to on the court here. Sonego going inside out. He's barely on the service line. It's so tough to cover the court. The pace and spin Shelton generates. It's actually pretty central, the pass, and he couldn't get anywhere near it, really. Got to get into the backhand.
Advantage Sonego.
A bit more slice on that final smash. Still not enough for my liking. Only just landed in. That's all that matters. Let's lick the line. Shelton's not so sure, but the electronic line calling system will tell us it's 99% out.
100% in.
You know it. And Ryan, just getting back to your alternate pick there of Riley Opelka.
Okay.
Was that an intimidation pick? Did you get a secret message from him while he was watching? Pick me, how can you forget me?
I did not, but I was thinking about the points and the way that he started this year and that he's already got over 200 points under his belt. I think that he had a tough matchup against Machak in the second round here, but he's somebody that if he stays healthy, and that's the big thing, if he stays healthy, he's definitely a top 20 guy, and it's all health dependent for me with Riley.
Yeah, I think he's already been a career high ranking of, I want to say 17 or 18.
Yes.
So, totally understandable.
Fresh impetus with Dennis Kudla, recently retired Dennis Kudla, part of the coaching team now. Pelka.
Where's the time?
Taking a lot of time here, Sonego, to get right play. It's supposed to be continuous, isn't it, at 1 love? It's essentially a standing changeover there.
Left. Love.
Bobby, how many Americans do you think go top 10?
I mean, I'm liking your list. I'm liking your confidence in the boys.
Ben Shelton, new balls, please.
I think in addition to Taylor, I think Tommy Paul gets there. Definitely, I agree with that.
What about the big lefty we're watching? Do you have him a top 10 guy year end, or is he going to be knocking on the door?
I think it'll take quite a big improvement in his week-to-week level and form. He's definitely capable. We've seen his best tennis in the Grand Slams so far to this stage. Although he has won on tour, hasn't he? Champion at Tokyo ATP 500.
Yeah, the big number for Shelton is return points 1. And even with the great serve that he has, the numbers will tell us over the last 33 years on the ATP Tour, your threshold for return points 1 to be a top 10 player has to be around 35%. And that statistic is so strong. You have to be a complete outlier, like a John Isner. I think he is one of the only guys to ever defy those numbers in 33 years. Lovely article by Jeff Sackman in Tennis Abstract where he talks about that. He goes into a deep dive. So it's an area where Ben is going to have to improve or just shoot the lights out like he has done this week in converting on break points, which is so difficult to do.
30 love.
So is it doable? Absolutely. Is it difficult? Yes. Yeah, in the words of Jeff at the end of that article, he said, the ceiling is high,
30.
but the ladder is steep. I thought that was a nice way of putting it. And one of the toughest things to improve over the course of a career is your return points 1. It's the one metric that is very tough to improve, especially from a player in the early 20s throughout the course of their career as they climb the rankings. That's nicely done.
He's come back in to the forehand.
It's unbelievable that he hasn't picked it up.
And watched his forehand. It's not that close to the sideline. It's just beating him for pace. So if you are coming into the forehand, surely you can't be beaten by that one. I still think he needs to approach to the backhand a lot more often.
(40-30). Sonego.
This guy likes a bit of risk, does Lorenzo. He's got away with that passing shot.
Sonego.
He leads 2-1 for a set.
2 games to 1.
While we take a break, let us inspire your next adventure. Fly with us in comfort to London, Edinburgh, Athens or Rome, Paris or Dublin, and over 40 cities across Europe. But remember, it's not just the destination, it's also how you get there. Fly Emirates, fly better.
Time.
What a day, what an event, what a city. First tennis major of the year in Melbourne, Australia. These are massive annual sporting events. Of course, as we approach the sharp end of this one, who's going to be crowned champion here at the Australian Open 2025. Both these guys trying to book a place in the semi-finals. It would be the second semi-final at a major if Shelton were to prevail.
15 left.
To go alongside the semi-final at the US Open in 2023. This would be a career best result at the majors for Sonego. He's never been to the quarterfinals, so this is already uncharted territory for him.
30 left. Love.
7 first serves in a row to start this fourth set for Shelton. Just feels like he's dialed in again.
Game Shelton.
It's a more similar pattern to sets 1 and 2. 2 love holes for Shelton. Sonego just have to work that bit harder on serve.
Is from a different planet.
He's the human highlight reel of the 2025 Australian Open. That's now a hat-trick for Sonego.
He's going to be in the top 3 spots with that one.
That's the sky hook around the shoulder. Shelton can only stand and watch.
Oh man, somebody on the internet needs to do some good work for us and play his 3 highlight shots, the one against Stan and the 2 here.
30-15.
Yeah, of course, full stretch backspin volley from earlier. See if we can dig it out in the archives. I hope Jimmy Connors was watching that sky hook. He liked that shot a lot, did Jimbo.
(40-15).
Just thinking now that Pablo Cuevas has retired.
40-15.
I mean, is Sonego trying to fill his shoes?
He's doing a very good job of it. Yeah, Cuevas was the showman, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah, who will ever forget his one by the side in Madrid against Sasha Zverev? I love this guy's attitude. It always determines your
Sonego
altitude in whatever you do. It's 3-2 full set.
He's actually outshone Shelton in this match for hot shots. You wouldn't necessarily have picked that pre-match.
Yeah, he's the hot shot maven. Check this out. This is the one from earlier today.
This was break point down, first game of the second set. Look at the bite on that thing.
A couple of sensational hot shots. The backhand volley earlier, and then this moment of magic.
It's so easy to lose track of where you are in the court, where the court is that you're aiming for. It's a remarkable shot.
That was Rafa-esque. Wasn't a bad slice, but the footwork from Shelton is exquisite.
Yeah, he really danced around that ball to get the forehand into play.
Yeah, guys, the wind factor still. Shelton thought that was going well long, and it just held up, still coming down the side that he's serving from.
What's a return? Shelton reaching for the right foot, the right ankle. Hopefully no damage done. Look at this return from Sonego, stepping in. Maybe the best second serve return he's hit all day. And what a moment we have here.
It looked like he just burned the inside of his foot, nothing serious.
Uh-oh.
30-40. Thank you.
How important could this point be right here, right now?
Well, he just went with the heat seeker.
Yes.
Big serve into the body. Took the sidelines out of play to increase the chances of the first serve landing. And it was too hot to handle.
Advantage, Shelton.
Sure, Americans don't want to hear this stat, but Sonego has come back from 2 sets to love down. Did it at the French Open against Andrei Rublev. So nothing is off the cards here. Definitely playing better tennis, hitting that backhand well now.
And it comes back to attitude as well, doesn't it? He's got the right attitude to come back from 2 sets to love down. At no stage has he let his head go down here. And yeah, just as the sun has started to go down, things have cooled off, the conditions have slowed slightly. He's getting better and better as this match goes.
That is unreal.
Advantage, Shelton.
Yeah, Colin, this temperature drop has been about 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. It is significant feeling down here on court.
Yes. As you know, please be mindful not to shout out comments just as the player is trying to serve. Advantage, Shelton.
Again, hitting his two-handed backhand with real authority now, Sonego.
Yes.
can see a feather coming out of the sky above. Textbook.
Advantage Shelton.
Yeah, that was a top quality volley. Look at the way he splits the arms, squeezes the shoulder blades together. Just to keep the left hand strong, punch the ball into the open court.
Cain Shelton.
Oh, he had to dig deep there.
Three games up.
Venting a little bit of frustration towards his team and his corner. Probably feels like he should be in the locker room already. This guy's battling hard, making life uncomfortable for the American.
Left.
We've seen a few good lobs today from Ben Shelton off the forehand. This might be the best of the bunch. The inside out topspin lob. And the way he just hooks round this ball. It's got a bit of side spin to just bring it into the court.
That's a bit of daylight lobbery right there.
He's flipped the switch here, Shelton, bringing some serious energy, raising the decibels, and there's a different feeling down there on court.
Yeah, he is sensing the moment. He was emphasizing that prior to this game to his team, just saying, right here, this is the game.
Was a cheat code there.
30 up.
Shelton didn't see it, did he?
Yeah, he just crashed the net here, Sonego. Got himself as close as he could to cover the angles. The lob would have been on, but as you say, Shelton had turned away from the court.
It's just brilliant.
40-30.
Shelton's an intimidating figure at the net.
Yeah, it was a slightly risky play, I thought, the drop shot at 30-all. What a pass there. Could not have hit it any better.
Sonego.
Tell you what, this guy's tough.
Sonego leads by 4 games to 3.
And he's got the lead in the 4th.
Time.
Intriguing contest this has become. Neither player facing a break point in their 3rd set until Shelton in the 10th game goes up 40-love, only to get broken. And that's why we find ourselves in a 4th set.
15.
He's bringing some of that college tennis spirit to Rod Laver Arena here at Ben Shelton.
Of
course, he and his dad.
You know, winning the NCAA championships together. Of course, everybody forgets he won it with the woman as well at Georgia Tech. Only coach in college history to win an NCAA Division I championship with both a women's team and a men's team.
The Florida Gators. That Ben did it with, as Brian, the coach.
(30-15).
Of course, he won the singles title as well as the team title. Won it a year later, 2022. You talk about great coaching. I mean, that's got to be right up there. The ability to manage a team, which is a different dynamic than managing an individual player, both on the women's and men's side of things. And then developing your own son simultaneously from, you know, his infancy to being a top pro. There's not many coaches that can stay around for the entirety of that journey. So I think it's a throwaway point there, and he shouldn't do that.
14.
Instead of hitting a flat forehand, hit your regulation dipper.
Yeah.
Make Sonego volley.
Went for something very, very special there, very high risk. And as you just reminded us, was broken from 40-love up in set 3.
Ben Shelton. Four games on.
He's definitely ramped up his intensity. He's pulling himself towards himself. Getting himself back in line.
Well, Colin, to your point earlier, in approaching to the backhand side of Shelton, we saw in the previous game where he had that little look and had the backhand passing shot. He's almost gotten in 80 times, Sonego, and almost now closing in on 4 sets of tennis, and he's got to make Shelton hit backhand passing shots instead of forehands.
That's something he said he's been working on, getting forward more, and the numbers are testimony to that for Lorenzo. Just listen to his net points won. 12-17 first set. 20 of 28 second set. 12 of 13 in the third. Big contributing factor to helping him win that third set.
14.
And as you suggested, Ryan, a very healthy 15 out of 20 here. And I reckon those numbers could be even better if he's just disciplined with that approach.
Sonego.
And he continues to be impressive behind the serve. Oh, he's just a game away now from evening things up.
Leads by 5 games to 4.
It's been somewhat of a throwback, this match. You know, modern day power, modern day sort of movement and spin and technology and everything, but the amount the players are coming in. 123 net approaches between them. It's not far off half the points that we've played. 260 points played, 123 net approaches. Two players that very much invested in coming forwards, improving that side of their games.
Gordon Square looking resplendent. DJ supporting the locals as well, cranking out one of Australia's finest singers, Sia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those in Garden Square enjoying some world-class tennis.
15 left.
The breeze really whipped up there in that point. Awkward approach for Sonego, and Shelton got the pass all wrong. Does have quite a big sort of wind up on his backhand, even when he's under pressure. What a time for your second backhand winner of the match. We mentioned he was hitting that shot a lot better in this fourth set, and you can't hit it any better than that.
Yeah, this backhand just melts into his strings.
Thank you.
That is so pure.
Mentioned the similarities. These two players, obviously one righty, one lefty, but both much stronger forehands. Two backhand winners, Sonego, none for Shelton. And another error from that wing.
Yes.
Unreturned serves are way down now. Cooler conditions, Sonego making so many more returns.
Decent look at the pass. Ron, I'm just wondering, is the wind still a factor down there on the court?
Shelton.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's still blowing at about the same speed it was. A couple gusts that get up higher, and Colin, to your point, that's what I was saying earlier in the match. When the temperatures were still high, that ball is just jumping off of Shelton, and now he's getting no free points on serve.
Game, Shelton. Five games up.
Continues to impress when coming in. Inch perfect. Player. It's Uncle Rick.
15 on.
Of course. The Whitskin family. Lisa's brother. I used to play a little bit of tennis with Rick. He is not shy to get involved, get in the mix. Lively personality. Genius. He is starting to showcase his full array of skills beautifully now.
30.
It's one thing doing it in patches, but he's been consistently good now for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, isn't he just showing us his full skill set? Some big points as well. 3-all, 30-all, drop shot, won the point with a pass. 5-all, 15-all, he gets the job done. Yeah, just a nice, subtle little change of trajectory there from Shelton.
30.
No pace. I got the ball up high to the Sonego backhand. Tough for him to time it there. He's got his thinking cap on here.
What an athlete. USA all the way.
30-40.
What a hustle there from Shelton. Just would not give up on the point.
Thank you.
He's earned himself a break point.
Yes.
Is it maybe a late decision to try and use his forehand?
I don't like that under pressure. I don't like that. If you're going to make a move, I want you to move over early before the server makes contact with the ball. Just be ready for it.
Otherwise, just hit it back and get in the point.
Please, thank you. Thank you. Left top. Advantage, Shelton.
Well, Robbie, to your point, with this pressure mounting, and you can see Sonego feeling a bit of the tension, you've got to do everything you can to get this return back in play.
That's so brave, so very brave.
Deuce.
The return was mishit from Shelton. The first forehand was missable, but Sonego, he just keeps on coming.
Advantage, Sonego.
Another volley that is just saturated in quality. I mean, that is circa 1985, this. He's not waiting for the ball to come to him.
Game, Sonego. New balls, please.
What a game, what a hold. It's 6-5 in the fourth.
Well, we made the point,
leads by 6
coming
games
into
to
this
5.
match, Shelton was the leader in players left in the tournament for break points won. 52% he won. He got a look at 2 break points there, second serve on both, and that was not clutch tennis from Ben Shelton, was it? Missed one return, mishit the other. He just didn't grasp his opportunity there. But credit to Lorenzo Sonego, who stood firm. One error there and the match could have been over. But he's now
Well, Colin, I think
pressure on Shelton, hasn't he, Ryan?
Yes, he has, and I think that Sonego coming into this match was one of the best in the tournament, remaining at saving break points, and so it's really been good on good as far as what they were able to produce to date.
Yeah, I got it.
Crowds are starting to build because those with day tickets are still enjoying the tennis. Those who have night-time tickets are coming into the grounds. So looking nice and full. Of course, Demon and Sinner still to come this evening. They are going to be delayed. They're due for 7:30 start time. That's not going to happen.
Love 15.
New balls in play here. But Sonego makes another return in play. Just the second ace of the set for Shelton. 8th overall in the match.
30-15. Ben Shelton.
Yep.
6
more
games
like it.
on tiebreak.
And he needs to be dialed in now, otherwise he will be going the distance. Lorenzo Sonego will be hoping that he can indeed take it the distance. What a combo.
1-0, Sonego. Let first serve.
Guys, the lights have just come on. So the night session officially feels underway with the lights on.
And it may be a lot darker by the time we finish this one, because Sonego has struck first in this breaker. He's got a mini break here. Just feels as if the Italian's tail is up. Crowd are right behind him here. Well, you can't criticize the play. He's done it all match. Just couldn't find the execution on the volley. Maybe even overconfident with it. Really tried to punch it away.
Yes. Looking for that John Fitzgerald little topspin volley there.
Shelton.
Tense times. But no pressure, no diamonds. He won't back down, and you've got to love it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because Shelton has a huge game. Serve, the forehand, the explosiveness, and yet it feels like Sonego is just deciding almost every point at the moment.
Yep.
He is just putting returns in play. He's obviously serving big, but he's coming forward at every opportunity. 87 times he's come to the net in this match.
That's something that he said he has been working on a lot with his coach, Fabio. Just to get him more attacking-minded, but to use the forehand when he hits big shots with the forehand. Look to come in. His conversion rate in the forecourt has been excellent today. He's got to be careful here that he doesn't take too long, because he's already got a time violation as a server. He could well get one here as a receiver if he doesn't hustle.
4-3.
He's hit that forehand so well.
Shelton.
Inside out for the middle of the court. Spaces himself. Plenty of topspin on the ball. It's untouchable.
I'll just double check the ruling that if he had got a time violation there as a receiver, because he's already had one as a server, he would have actually lost that point, Colin. Sonego, that is.
Right here in front of me, Shelton doing push-ups. This guy is a beast, leaving it all out here on the courts.
Oh, he got to the ball as well. I thought he pulled off one of the shots of the tournament, and then I was worried he was in real trouble because he's gone flying into the advertising boards here. And all of a sudden he's pushing them out. Can you believe it?
How good is this? Just didn't quite catch it. Of course, let's not forget in the last major of last year, the Americans had two men in the semi-finals in New York. Taylor Fritz and Francis Tiafoe. Shelton would love to keep the trend going. To match points for Shelton. Ben Shelton making American tennis great again.
4-6, 7-6.
He is through to the semi-finals in Australia for the very first time in his career. What a battle. Take a bow, boys. He comes through in 4 hard-fought sets. 6-4, 7-5, 4-6, 7-6.
Look at these scenes, look at the energy, the passion from Ben Shelton. Through to the second Grand Slam semi-final of his career.
Let's go! Let's go!
who embraced with his team, his father and coach Brian. But I tell you what, it takes two to tango, and Lorenzo Sonego, he could have gone away in straight sets here. He was outplayed in the first two, but his fight, his passion, his spirit very nearly carried him to a fifth set. 90 times he came to the net, Lorenzo Sonego. Talk about leaving it all out there. Just comes up short, but it's been the best tournament of his career so far, certainly at Grand Slam level.
Yeah, no kidding. Great attitude. And that'll always eventually define your success. It's been the best major for him, and he's come up just short, but he will know that he has done everything in his power to try and get the better of Ben. But Shelton comes out on top, and in back-to-back majors now, the American men have got a semi-finalist. This time, it's a southpaw. Well, let's have a listen as to how Ben thought that one unfolded.
Well, Ben Shelton, congratulations through the semi-finals of the Australian Open 2025. How does it feel?
I mean, I feel relieved right now. Shout out Lorenzo Sonego, because that was some ridiculous tennis. But yeah, I'm just really happy to be through, get my first win here on Rod Laver. Thanks everybody for coming out. This is one of my favorite matches of my career, so thank you guys so much.
You're making it through to the semi. You're going to play either Jannik Sinner or Alex de Minaur. You know, like the crowd are going to be on the other guy's side for that, aren't they?
Well, I mean, if it's the home favorite, Alex de Minaur, 100%. You guys can boo me. You can throw stuff at my head. I understand, home guy. And if it's the #1 in the world, it'll probably be the same. So I'm looking forward to it. I know I got a few people out in the crowd who are going to be pulling for me too.
Definitely, lots of support from in your corner, lots of American flags throughout the crowd. Congratulations through to the semis. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Let's go, baby!
Ben Shelton into the semis.
Oh, what an exciting young man.